Right now on 10 News at 11.
Another night under a cloud of smoke and flames in Murrieta. Firefighters still battling through tough weather to save homes from the Tinaja fire.
New tonight, another 10 people killed by Hurricane Dorian. The new challenges facing the East Coast as the storm heads through the Carolinas.
And it's just been so encouraging to watch the community step up and stand with us.
And a church helping the homeless, doomed after dozens of violations. The new effort to get the church back up and running for good.
10 News begins with breaking news.
The threat of fires in this summer heat all too real for San Diego firefighters tonight. They fought this flaming palm tree within the past 90 minutes in Emerald Hills. And the fire may have been caused by transients living in the area. Firefighters pounced quickly before it could spread.
The biggest firefighting effort tonight is happening just to our north in Murrieta, where the Tinaja fire has burned almost 2,000 acres. It is only 10% contained, and there are 1,200 homes still threatened. But only 2 homes have been partially damaged. One firefighter was also hurt. No word on his condition tonight, and all evacuation orders are still in place.
We have team coverage of the fire danger and the scorching heat. Let's begin with Matt Boone. He's in Murrieta.
Yeah, much different story tonight than last night, but as you can hear, there's still that wind causing concern for firefighters who are still managing to put out some of these hot spots that are just right up the hill from homes.
It was intense. It was really, it was scary.
At one point, this neighborhood was surrounded.
We had everything packed. We were ready to go.
Jennifer Ward says she and some of her neighbors stayed. Her husband was an off-duty firefighter and enlisted their help.
We just really trusted his judgment on how everything was going.
Things were starting to look good, but then the winds kicked in again.
We got a rainstorm came through and we're like, oh, this is over.
Yeah.
And then this morning when the wind finally kicked back up,
the fire went with it.
Right back with it.
Chris and Susan Ryan came to check out the fire line where several of their neighbors' backyards had been scorched.
You reassess what's important and you do it quickly.
They stayed behind too, impressed by the firefighting efforts.
It's such an amazing job, and they saved, so all these homes are saved because of them.
As night fell, the work continued. Pockets of orange in a rugged and charred terrain.
The moon or Armageddon.
Families now anxiously waiting for the evacuation orders to be lifted.
Now, knowing that it's burned pretty much everything that it can burn, we have a little more peace of mind.
And of course, firefighters stationed throughout the neighborhood here tonight, but no word yet on when those evacuations will be lifted. Reporting in Murrieta, Matt Boone, 10 News.
Still burning there. Meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking those conditions for those firefighters tonight and into tomorrow morning. It's been hot out there for them.
It's been so hot and the heat will continue. It'll start to get better this weekend, but tomorrow should be another hot day in that area. Right now, even at this hour, 77 degrees with the humidity a little bit higher. That helps, but the wind has been the biggest issue. Wind gust of 11 miles per hour. It's a lot better than it was through the course of the afternoon. And as we look at tomorrow in the afternoon hours is when it will be the windiest. Most likely winds could average between 10 to up to 30 miles per hour with some pretty strong gusty winds that could easily make it very challenging for firefighters to fight tomorrow.
And the mountains got another round of thunderstorms today. In Pine Valley, the road conditions were slick with crews escorting motorists going through narrow stretches of road. This tree had fallen from yesterday's storm and crews were still cleaning it up today. After losing all their umbrellas, the local Frosty Burger tied down their umbrellas today.
And we have new details tonight on the boat fire off Santa Cruz Island where 34 people died. Tonight, we have learned the owners of the boats are filing a lawsuit in anticipation of the victims' families suing. The pre-Civil War maritime law will allow Truth Aquatics to limit its liability. We also learned that investigators now suspect a phone and battery charging station may have been the cause of the fire. And they also think that fire started in the galley, which cut off all exits from the bottom deck where the victims were sleeping. Access from below was already limited.
In order for me to really get at it, I had to kind of twist around and then push it out.
Would you feel comfortable sleeping in that bunk room?
I think I would have concerns.
Investigators are still looking for an official cause of the fire and where it started.
She was known for her love of the ocean and enthusiasm for diving. Friends and coworkers celebrating the life of the San Diego woman who was killed in that tragic boat fire. 10 News reporter Anthony Purra is live outside Nikki Rotten's in Coronado where she worked, and it was a packed house tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Things are winding down in there right now, but there was a lot more packed than normal here tonight. Now, Nicole's mother and relatives, they could not make it tonight. They're in Northern California, but her boyfriend was at tonight's event. It was a very emotional time for everyone. Nikki Rotten's had no trouble filling up Thursday night.
A celebration of life, filled with music and sports, friends, family, and beer is what the team wanted to do.
The team set aside the night in honor of Nicole Kitasol,
the world's best bartender, I would say. Yeah, Nicole did a little of everything, but behind the bar is where she thrived.
And behind the bar, co-workers remembered Nicole with pictures and flowers. A slideshow of her played on TVs throughout the bar. Nicole was one of 34 people killed in the Conception when the boat caught on fire and sank on Labor Day. Nicole's two sisters, her father, and stepmother also died on the boat.
Nicole loved the ocean, outdoors, diving, and her dog.
Her dog, Peanut Butter, now at the care of friends.
Peanut Butter's been over at our house for a couple of times with picnics and hanging out at the pool, and my dog enjoys her too, so they're like little buddies, and we're just here to help.
Friends like Jennifer Riley, who are banding together during an emotional time.
I've only known her for a few months, but she's just a wonderful person.
A person who many are remembering, and on this night, they're raising their glasses to the friend they've lost.
Everybody's doing their best and, sticking together.
And a portion of tonight's food and drink profits will be donated to Nicole's mother for funeral expenses. Some of the bartenders also donating their tips to Nicole's family. If you'd like to donate, we have a link to our GoFundMe page on our website, 10news.com. We're reporting live in Coronado. Anthony Purra, 10 News.
Anthony, thank you. Only on 10 News. 1 month after the deadly Bluff collapse in Encinitas, the husband of one of the victims is speaking out for the first time. Dr. Pat Davis is a well-known dentist in the community. He lost his wife, his daughter, and his sister-in-law in that collapse. The three were sitting under the bluff when it gave way.
It's been just a little over a month and 2 days now since all three of my family members, were killed in this tragic accident, and it's just a day-to-day process. It's a whole new beginning, a whole new life for me.
It's tragic. Davis says his new purpose in life is to find a solution to stabilize the bluffs. He supports options including cutting off some access to the beach.
Another 10 people killed in the Bahamas by Hurricane Dorian, and now that makes 30 lives lost, many more expected. The storm is moving along the east coast of the U.S. now, taking its toll on the Carolinas. And this is a live look from Topsail Beach, North Carolina. You can see the camera shaking. Some good news tonight. In the past 30 minutes, Dorian was downgraded to a Category 1. Here's Morgan Norwood with the storm's path.
Hurricane Dorian battering the Carolina coast throughout the day Thursday.
It was a little scary in the middle of the night. It started to pick up and the shutters were banging.
Charleston hit relatively hard. Streets there flooded.
Stay off the streets. It's very dangerous.
This tree crashing onto a bed of a 7-year-old boy.
We were all sleeping downstairs as precaution for this reason.
Thousands now without power after trees came down on power lines. Waterspouts spotted off the coast of North Carolina.
Which way is it going?
The powerful winds ripping the siding off this apartment complex.
And all of a sudden the windows broke loose. Everything was swirling in our bedroom.
Dorian spawning numerous tornadoes, one destroying this mobile home park.
What surprised me the most was how quickly it was over and done with. I mean, it was a deafening noise.
This entire neighborhood flooded, for the most part Dorian sparing Florida, but the Bahamas now facing a long road to recovery.
A number of friends who are already dead, family friends who are gone. I can't dwell on the material things, but it's still hard to see all what you've been accumulating and building up over years just completely washed away.
With so many missing across the Bahamas, the fear now is that the death toll could grow much higher. And you see the heavy wind and the rain whipping up behind me. Looking ahead, Dorian is expected to travel north, and New York City Beaches there already closing, announcing those closings for Friday and Saturday. In Wilmington, I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News.
California voters may soon be casting ballots to allow felons into the voting booth. The state assembly narrowly pushed it through today for the 2020 ballot. California Secretary of State Alex Padilla says that we should end the ban on felons voting. He says it would help nearly 50,000 felons who have served their time adjust to being back in society. It would not affect criminals until they are released from custody. It's now going to the state Senate for consideration.